Bob Babinski puts a little bit of fun into the news. He is quite knowledgeable in the sport.
The Sheen Curling Club is one of the oldest in the country. It was opened 105 years ago.
I like the fact that he is active in sports himself, and I like his fitness column, actually.
News Watch Sports, weeknights at 6.
Bob's already down at the football game, where hockey is probably the talk of the town tonight. First of all, Bob, how much money would somebody need to buy the team and the rink from Molson's?
Well, of course, that's still to be determined. Molson's won't let on right now. You'd guess somewhere between 200 and 400 million Canadian when you take the hockey team and the Molson Center together.
It's two big wins in a row, though. Ivanisevic yesterday and then the one this afternoon. How does it feel when you string those together?
It feels great. You know, a lot of people may think you're not for real if you just come out and you're a flash in the pan, you beat somebody like Gorin, and then come out the next day and lose 1-1 to Mark.
And, you know, if Rocket's funeral was a celebration of his life, it was also a celebration of the game of hockey. And many of the game's greatest stars were there, as Dennis mentioned, from Richard's teammates to his rivals to the players who followed. Jean Béliveau was one of the first to arrive at the Basilica this morning. It was his first public appearance since he found out he's suffering from cancer. Béliveau was followed by a long line of players, from the current Canadians to dozens of Hall of Famers. Brad Park is a former defenseman who came in from Boston.
Well, I think Rock is an institution. I mean, I grew up watching him, Hockey Night in Canada in the 50s, and, you know, he was my father's favorite Montreal Canadian.
Tomorrow hasn't been about promise. Instead, the last few years, it's been about figuring out exactly when the Expos are finally going to leave. Years of squabbling off the field did that. You'd wonder if things could have turned out differently. There were times when this city was in love with baseball.
In the top half of the ninth inning.
The Expos played their first home game at Jerry Park on April 14th, 1969. Call it fate if you like, but the '94 strike was just another key element in the demise of the Expos. There was the Rick Monday home run before that, the failure to get over the top in the 80s, and more generally the Brochu era ownership. The era was a failure in many ways. The one constant was that fans were again getting the message the team wasn't committed to winning. The real commitment was to protecting the bottom line. Just 9 years ago, a former teammate of Jackie Robinson shocked the baseball world with his comments about blacks. Al Campanis made those comments on ABC's Nightline program. He was the vice president of the LA Dodgers at the time.
I truly believe that they may not have some of the necessities.
It's summer in Montreal. Every evening at 6 o'clock, News Watch serves up all the latest action from the world of sports. Hits and misses. News Watch. What news is meant to be.